To the cloud. Okay, very good. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for being here and welcome to Be Inspired. Be Inspired is a video series I'm doing where I'm featuring women that are making a difference with their gifts and their talents to help others live better. And it is my pleasure this morning to introduce you to Stephanie Lueras, where we were just chatting briefly beforehand. And Stephanie and I met about a year ago, and it was on LinkedIn. And I saw her profile and I saw this grinning, smiling face. And I just knew she had to have a story. And so I read her about section and I immediately connected with her. She was interviewed and was in our Knowledge is Power group where she was in a Zoom with us for an hour learning her story. And I'm delighted for you all to learn a little bit about Stephanie and what she has to offer. So Stephanie, so happy to see you. Welcome.
Well, good morning. It's always good to be with you, Liz.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. So let's start out with talk a little bit about you, just your family, where you live, and what you're doing right now.
Well, I live in beautiful Lake Havasu City, Arizona with my husband and our puppy Princess. We have just a senior dog rescue, and we're living the dream. I have my business, Heart and Soul Fitness and Wellness, and my husband works in a local motorcycle shop, and we are just living our best life.
Wonderful, wonderful. That is so, so exciting. And I love to hear that. So I know that you've shared your story with me, but with the path that you're on now, was there a particular life event or aha moment or something for you that has put you on the path of living your dream now?
Definitely. For me, I am a person that's been overweight my entire life. I've been on that roller coaster of every diet out there, gaining, losing weight. I'm amazing at losing weight, but equally as awesome at gaining it back plus interest. But about 6 years ago, I had come to this point where I just was unhappy and I was done. I was done dieting because diets weren't working. I would be done with the diet, gain all it back, and what did I have to show for all of this work? And something had to change in my life, and I didn't know what it was. So I cried out, and I realized, not everybody shares my faith tradition, but as a Christian, I just knew that, for me, it was the crux of it was my spiritual life. I was very stagnant in my spiritual life.
Okay.
And so it was that spiritual growth needed to happen. And through that, it was building my emotional health and taking those small steps in my physical health as well. And in that, it wasn't going to be those sweeping diets that everything changed on Monday, New Year's, those magical dates on the calendar. It was those small steps. For me, it was the very first thing I did was just starting to drink water, because I wasn't even drinking. I wasn't hydrating my body. And so it wasn't, those giant cups that we carry around. It was a 6-ounce cup of water that I had reminders on my phone that I would go and fill up the cup multiple times a day. Then it was, not going to the drive-thru twice a day to feed myself and my husband. It was cooking at home. Didn't matter what I was cooking. It was just cooking at home. Yeah. Then it was starting to look at, okay, what am I feeding us? And starting to change out some of those ingredients and things. And as I was starting to feel better, put in that movement. At first it was just walking to the end of the street and back, and I wanted to die because that was so much. But then it was around the block and around the neighborhood, and then 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, marathons, now jumping over into triathlons, finding this love of endurance sports, going from that walking to the end of the street to now I'm training for an Ironman triathlon, things that conceptually I never dreamed for myself, but those baby steps had such a ripple. I found these things that I love in my life.
Wow.
And it's just, it's a complete transformation of just taking that next action. And from that, that unintentional, just those next right actions, no diets, nothing crazy. I've lost over 200 pounds. Just taking those healthy actions, eating better, moving, taking that emotional stress off myself, strengthening that spiritual life. It was nothing, it was no sweeping action. It was just those little things that snowballed on top of each other.
Well, you are preaching to the choir here, because I try to do that with my chefing too. It's making those little changes, swap out things, and over time you see the results. And the other thing too, Stephanie, that I just really so admire with you too, is that you've taken away the stigma that to be an athlete, you have to be this certain size. That, find something you love doing and then just go do it. Yeah, I just love that about you. You're just so inspirational, and you are to be commended for your, how you've taken control of your life, from your spiritual, emotional, because all that plays into it. I totally agree with you. It's so important. So, well, I always like to sort of wrap up, and I know that you and I could talk for a lot longer, and I know our guests will, and of course I'll give them the information how to get in touch with you if they want to get to know you better and see what you offer. But from your expertise and life experiences through this, if you were to leave our audience with 3 things today that could help them live better, what would those 3 things be?
Oh my goodness, just 3. Well, the major thing is to pick one thing that you can do right now. There is always just one thing that we can do in this moment to propel us forward. I talked about, the small cup of water. It might be calling a friend and saying, hey, can you connect me with this person, or I need some help with this. And that even leads me to the next point, but I'll hold off on that for a second. But one of my favorite mantras is, what is the next right action?
I love that.
We can be in a tailspin of, I'm doing this wrong. I'm that shame spiral of all these emotions. I'm horrible. I've failed again. I'm doing this. But what can we do to stop right now and change in this instant? Whether it's put the chip bag back in the cabinet, or better yet, in the trash can.
Yeah.
And just do something. And it could just be get up off the couch and go stand on the front porch and take a breath of fresh air. What is that one tiny action that's going to move us forward from where we are in our pity party or that shame spiral?
Yeah.
Because that's going to start that ripple effect of then another action, then another action, then another action. And I talked about picking up the phone and calling the friend. And that's that second one. That accountability is key. And that accountability piece is not always calling a friend It could be having that calendar laid out of this is what I'm doing when, or this is my meal plan, and having that flexibility in it, moving things around, because life happens. But accountability is bringing in those resources we need. Do I have the education I need? Do I have the support I need? Do I have the training I need to support me in what I'm working on? That is so key. It's okay to ask for help. None of us are geniuses in whatever we're doing. That's why we bring in the accountability. We bring in the support. And last is, it's okay to reset and reframe and just take that time to kind of just start over. And not even start over, but just regroup. The journey isn't linear, whatever journey we're on. It doesn't go straight across. We kind of go like swirlies and back and forth and all around. Sometimes we just feel stuck, like it's not working. And so we just need to look around at what's not working and figure our way around it, over it, under it, or maybe there's a different way to look at it outside of the box. And that's, again, bringing in that accountability, those outside supports, and taking another look around it. Because maybe this isn't meant for us, but this is. And so just understanding that it's okay, just because it doesn't look the way we think it should, there's probably another way to get there. Just being really gentle with ourselves.
Wonderful. Stephanie, this has been fantastic. And I know that you and I could continue talking on and on for sure. And I will, when we're all wrapped up, I will make sure that our guests have a method to get in touch with you if they want to touch base with you and see what it is that you're doing and offering the world. And, I just so appreciate this and wish you the best today. And I will be catching up with you soon, my friend.
Well, thank you.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon. See you later. Bye-bye.